What's up, y'all? Today we talking about, should Christians go no contact with narcissists? And before we get started, y'all, please hit the like button right now and please follow my videos so that you can continue to get these videos that I put up. All right? So I know a lot of y'all want to hear about this because you're Christians. I know we hear a lot of people putting up these narcissist videos. We hear a lot about narcissism. We hear a lot about what we should do. And one of the main things that we hear about is go no contact. You need to go no contact. You need to cut them off. You need to remove yourself. You need to leave that person. And guess what, man? I'm not going to say they wrong. I'm not going to say they wrong. I'm going to also give y'all some information. I'm actually in a PhD psychology program right now. Psychology and theology, just to let y'all know. So I got a little bit of information on this. God has given me a little bit of wisdom and knowledge on this, but God has also allowed me to go through situations with people who are narcissistic in my life right now and have been for years, right? And I can't even remove them out of my life. So I went through this and I've actually had to put God first. I know a little something. So I know God wants me to bless y'all with this information. So I know we hear a lot of it. We hear a lot of things about go no contact, cut them off. You gotta leave them. This is how you end this. This is how you do that. I want to let y'all know there's really truth in that. I do believe that we should go no contact, right? Because they are very, like y'all like to say, toxic, right? They are very dysfunctional. They are very harmful in a lot of ways. They will hurt you spiritually, emotionally. They will kill your spirit. You get what I'm saying? They will definitely traumatize you in a lot of ways, and they'll have you going through a whole lot, right? But what we need to understand as Christians, y'all, is that there's things that we do differently. Even though the world says things, right? We can do certain things, but we got to remember God. We got to remember Jesus Christ because we are followers. So what do we do if we are followers of Jesus Christ? That means we follow Jesus Christ, right? There's stories in the Bible of Jesus treating his enemies with love, with kindness, with goodness. Jesus sacrificing himself for those who treated him wrong, who was evil to him, who went against him, who treated him like pure trash, right? Like the narcissist might do. So what would God want us to do in this situation? I think God would want us to remove ourselves in a lot of ways, right? Because you can't keep letting somebody use you as a punching bag, right? Being around a narcissist or being in close contact with a narcissist is like walking into a punch every day. You go around them, they punch you, bop, 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 bop. So obviously, you got to remove something or else you're going to keep getting hit. They're going to keep trying to harm you, right? Right? But there are ways that we need to be as Christians because I want to remind you of the enemy. Yup, that's right, the enemy. Remember, he got a hit out for us. He got a hit out for God's children. So if I go no contact with this person that the enemy is using, right? But I never learned how to communicate, but I never learned how to get through this situation. What you think the enemy gonna do? The next relationship I get in, the next job I go to, the next event that I go to, right? What you think the enemy gonna do? You don't think that he's gonna have someone come around you doing the same things that they did? You went no contact with someone, but guess what the devil did? He presented it again. Then you went no contact with them, and guess what the enemy did again? He presented it again. So are you going to keep running from this thing? As followers of Christ, do we run or do we deal with things? I don't know about you, but in the Bible, they call us soldiers of Christ. We don't run. So why do I keep running? There's something that you have to do. Jesus didn't run from demons. Jesus didn't run from evil. Jesus covered evil with good. He removed evil with good, with love, with sacrificing, with giving, with his life. So what do we do, y'all? Because I want you to understand this is going to show up in our relationships. This is going to show up in our families. This is going to show up at our jobs. This is going to show up wherever we go. Do we run from those who are evil? Or do we do what Jesus said do? Right? Because we win souls. How can someone see God through us if all we do is run? Now, you in a relationship, I understand. Yes, go no contact, all that. But you gonna run into people who are narcissistic or have these narcissistic traits that you can't keep running from. So what are you gonna do in that point? Let me tell you what happens if you don't know what to do. If we don't know what to do, then I get offended. Then I get mad. Then I get sad. I might even be depressed. I might want to get revenge. I might want to fight them. I might want to hurt them even more. Something bad might happen because I have not practiced what Jesus told me to do. But when I learn and practice how to be kind to people, when I learn and practice how to have self-control, when I learn and practice how to be patient, how to keep my mouth shut, how to speak less, how to give myself, how to have all these things, then I get discernment. God allows me to see the spirit of someone. God allows me to see the enemy in front of me rather than getting affected by the enemy. God does not want the enemy to just be able to poke me and I'm just, going crazy and running from the enemy. These people have the enemy inside of them when they're acting like that, right? These are demons, y'all. This is trauma in them, y'all. These are things that they are blind to, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? So do we run like the world runs from problems? Or do we face like Jesus faces everything? We are followers, so we do what Jesus said do. So instead of just going no contact with everybody, we got to face these situations. So when these situations or a person acts like this towards us, in the moment, we know what to do. We don't just get mad and run. We don't just get mad and offended and defensive and treat that person wrong because of how we feel, right? When we move in the spirit, it's not about how we feel. It's about what God said. Even when it comes to someone who's narcissistic, right? That doesn't mean that we could save them. That don't mean that we can pull whatever's going out of them, right? But we still have to present Jesus to them. We still are called to do what Jesus did. Did Jesus not tell us to love your enemies? To give to those who do wrong? Right? To love your enemies? To sacrifice yourself? So what do? How do I become a stronger soldier in Christ if all I do is go no contact? Someone is being evil to me, I can learn how to be kind to them. Someone is doing something to me, I can learn how to do nothing back. I can learn how to see them, right? I can learn how to see this demon, or I can learn how to see the trauma inside of them, right? Instead of being mad and sad and wanting to get them back and being even extremely hurt by what they did. God's truth, his light, his presence allowed me to see this inside of them, so it allowed me to be like him towards them. You never know. That can help you one day, right? Even with someone who is not narcissistic, you practicing this with them, this will help you with other people. This will help you to see beneath the surface. Because Jesus said to look beneath the surface. See, on the outside, they're like this, but on the inside, it's coming from somewhere else. It's coming from their trauma. It's coming from them being abused when they was a child, being neglected when they was a child, being not seen when they was a child, being treated poorly when they was a child. That's why they acting like this towards you. How do I know? Jesus said on the cross, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And he was talking about us. That's why he said, I died for you because I loved you. And we was treating him wrong in that very moment. So when someone who's narcissistic comes in front of us, they're treating us wrong. But do we run? God never told us to run from those who treat us wrong. He said to love those who treat you wrong. So instead of just going no contact, y'all, yes, in some instances we do, but even before doing that, we still have to present God. We still need to practice the ways of God because we are followers of him. He sacrificed his life for us so that we can show ourselves to them, so that we can show him through us to those who treat us the way that he was treated. You understand? So should Christians go no contact? Sometimes we might need to. But even before we go no contact, what should we do? We should try to love. Even if we go no contact, sometimes it got to be from a distance. What should we do? If we got to run into that person, prepare to be kind. Pray before you go into that situation. Make sure that you're trying to give love, but being aware of how they are. That's like knowing someone is sick that doesn't know that they're sick, right? They're hurt, but don't know that they're hurt. You understand? So you treat that person with care, even though that they are not aware. That's what Jesus did for us. So I want y'all to know we're Christians, y'all. We got to remember we follow Christ. So we got to do what Christ said do. We can't run from everything. The world says go no contact. I understand. But when do we involve Jesus in it? When do we believe God will have our back? He gonna have our back in this situation. He still loves them who are treating us wrong. And he still wants us to be like him. And y'all may be thinking, well, that ain't what God told me. If you think God didn't tell you that, that's a lie. There's 66 books in the Bible, and God not one time tells his people to treat people wrong. And I know y'all might say, well, in the New Testament, he did this and he did that. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe y'all reading that wrong. But well, let's go back to the New Testament. What did Jesus say do? Jesus said love them. Jesus said give to them. Jesus said be kind to them. Jesus said sacrifice for them. Jesus said, I'll do for you when you do for them. I'll repay. Don't pay them back. God said, I'll give you double because you sacrificed for me. Jesus said, you suffered for me. Now watch what I do for you. So we got to remember, y'all, we can't just run from everything. And if we do remove ourselves, we still got to present Christ. It ain't, oh, you need Jesus. It's, what can I do? Or it's, I'm going to just be quiet because I can see they're going through something. I don't got to fight them back. I don't got to be depressed and stressed because I understand it's something way deeper on the inside. Jesus said to be understanding. When we do what God says do, this allows us to see what's going on with someone. And a lot of people who are hurting, they like to hurt others unconsciously. You don't know what they're battling. They might be battling jealousy. They might be doing all this and it has nothing to do with you. Yes, they do it to you, but their actions aren't coming from you. It's coming from somewhere else. So that's where Jesus comes in. And that's where we need to become more like Jesus so that they can see that and so that the world can see, because they need love too. And we are the ambassadors of love, which is Jesus. And he wants us to love them the way that he loves us. All right, that's all I got for y'all. I hope this helped y'all in some way. I'm going to get at y'all when I get at y'all.